Before this video starts, I just want to let you know people are building in the background, so if you hear random noises, that's why. Okay, now with that being said, let's just get straight to the point. I am here to help you guys and guide you guys to be the bridge that helps you move from one reality to another. The reality that you were born into, the reality that is based on you meeting terms, and then a reality that is based on you creating the terms that will be met. So with that being said, this video is titled The Transition, and I'm gonna help you guys bridge the gap so that you guys can understand how to move into this new realm, into this new reality, and shake off and turn away from the things that did not serve you, and move away from the reality that was not that good for you. I'm gonna help you understand what happens in these phases, help you understand what it comes with, and help you maneuver your way through this whole experience. For those who might be following their own experience, their own path down this road already, this is a level of guidance for you as well, for you to have better understanding of the road you are currently taking. So to start off, I will first touch on a topic that I spoke about on TikTok, where I spoke about the transition in a way where I just mapped out one of my first topics, one of my first subjects of the video. So with that being said, let's talk about the transition. So I've said this before, so if you don't want to listen to this, then you can just skip a few seconds forward. But there comes a time where you've been evolving, you've been facing your internal demons, so to say, and you have been building up momentum, and you have been making such good improvement. You've been going, I don't know what the saying is, steam force ahead or some shit like that. You've been having a lot of momentum and you've been blazing down your path of what you want to do, right? And all of a sudden you hit this wall. You hit this wall that feels familiar for some reason, a wall that you have possibly hit before, a wall that has caused you to turn around in the past, a wall that has caused you to go soul searching in the past, a wall and an obstacle that has made you want to reset and made you believe that you aren't ready. So you've evolved and you hit this wall again, right? And it gets to a point now where something odd is happening inside of you, because when you follow down this road of your truth, when you follow down this road of your desires, and you get rid of the conditionings, you get rid of what doesn't serve you along the way, you will realize some of the things you do not even expect to leave or fade away will start leaving and fading away. So with that being said, you'll go down this path, right? And once you hit this wall that just makes you uncomfortable, and it makes you feel like, whoa, am I ready for this? Do I need to just jog my memory again with what's going on now? I need to try and conceptualize everything. I need to try and jog my memory. Why do I feel like I'm lost for words? Why do I feel blank? Why do I feel like all of a sudden I'm not prepared? It is because there's one thing that happened in that whole experience, one thing that got stunned, one thing that got shook, and that was your ego itself. So when you go through this experience and you hit this specific obstacle that causes your ego to start bitching and bullshitting and trying to reason with you and trying to tell you, yo, you need to change this path, you need to reroute, you need to rearrange, you need to go back and try and focus and reset. You are not ready for this. Turn away. This battle cannot be taken. Take another road. Just find an alternative. When your ego tries to tell you these things, it is because your ego realized that taking this path is very scary and very detrimental to your ego. Taking this path will mean that your ego will need to die. It will mean that your ego does not govern you anymore. It will mean that you can't grasp or try and enforce a sense of safety, a sense of control, where you govern all the outcomes that happen in your life, and it makes you feel safer. It makes you feel like you don't have to worry. You're more certain about everything around you. That's the reason why your ego doesn't want you to go down that path. It wants to maintain that level of experience. And the thing is this, it gets harder and harder with time, because the more you evolve, the more the difficult things in your life, the more the challenges will evolve as well. And when you get to this point, I need you to understand that this is you reaching your transition phase. At this time, you might feel most lost. You might feel the shit doesn't make sense anymore. You might feel like, whoa, I just got caught off guard and I just fell badly and I'm no longer where I was anymore. I am lost again. I just lost terribly and I'm no longer where I'm supposed to be. And yeah, I'm just done for. It takes a while to realize, or it takes a few shots that you need to take for you to realize that this experience does not mean it's over. It does not mean something fatal. It does not even mean that you took steps back. This experience in itself is nothing but your ego trying to give you false experiences, give you a sense of insecurity. Your ego wants you to back away from this experience for the sake of your ego. If you understand this, you'll see that removing this leg, breaking through this obstacle, means that your ego will no longer be able to go with you on your path, and it will mean that you will fall away from the hands of certainty, you will fall away from living in fear, and you will fall straight into the hands of faith. And a lot of people do not know how to accept living a faithful reality, since they cannot determine or govern their safety. They cannot determine certainty. And for a lot of people who do not have enough faith installed within, a faithful reality might seem terrible, it might seem scary to experience. But if you stop trying to latch on and cling onto things around you, and you start to embrace the experience, and you start to understand that life happens for you, and you go and follow down the road of your desires, you will see how everything unfolds in your favor. And you will see that even when things seem to unfold in a way that's beyond what you can comprehend, it is still in your favor because it teaches you lessons. Nothing in this life will ever be presented to you in a way that will be detrimental to who you are. No matter what loss you take, you will be able to take something from it as well. There will always be a reason to find something to love. There will always be a reason to keep going. There will always be a reason to take a few more steps. So that being said, when you fall into the hands of faith, right, and you fall out of the hands of fear, you can no longer try and govern everything. You can no longer try and resist things around you. Once you stop resisting and once you start embracing the reality that you are currently going to experience, is going to become a lot more heavenly. It's going to become a lot more blissful. And that's when you realize you have made it through the transition. And that's when you realize now is the next step. It's the next step for you to be who you are on that side, right? A lot of people only go and they pursue their goals and they pursue a certain level of mental happiness or inner peace or whatever. And then once they reach it, they do not know what to do with themselves anymore. It's like, now what? And then they end up feeling like peace and happiness is not as good as you think it is. They think like they don't know what to do with it. They're incompetent with this level of high vibration. So what they do is they want to revert back to their old ways so they can feel like they have something to focus on. So they can feel like they have something to romanticize their life around. So that they feel like they have something that can make them feel like they are going down something, that they are progressing. But when you go through and you live in a reality, in a realm where you are living in an atmosphere of faith, you will understand that you are whole, you are complete already within. There's not anything you need to try and grasp or conceptualize constantly. There's more to do with one thing, and I'll present that thing later on in the video, because this thing is the major key. It is the final, it's the biggest key that you need in this experience, okay? So with that being said, I want to present to you one more thing, and I want to tell you one more thing as well. Fear is nothing but a level of incompetence. It's because you are uncertain of what you would do if the fear was not there. Fear blocks your mind and it clogs up your mind and makes you not realize that you are incompetent in a certain area that you want to go down. What would you do if there was no reason perhaps to fear people's judgment? How would you go about loving and being who you seek to be? Because you haven't practiced that enough, right? But you sure have practiced experiencing scenarios that weren't the best for you, experiencing scenarios that were bad. You sure have practiced how you would react in situations that did not go your way. Why do you feel like you're not ready to do the same for things that do go your way? Why does it seem irrelevant to consider the good outcomes? This is similar to a study that my friend initially spoke to me about, is flies, right? Flies being the way they are, flying freely and whatever, and then putting a bunch of flies in a jar, or not flies, fleas or some shit like that, and then keeping them there for a while. They start to form the form of the jar, and as soon as you remove the jar, they are too scared to fly freely again, because they're scared they're gonna hit a wall. They're scared they're gonna hit a limit that makes them get rattled, get caught off guard, make them realize it, whoa, I can't fly as high as I want to anymore. And then it starts to take a mental toll, where the external almost has reverse psychology, because the external tries to teach you something about your internal and makes you believe that you don't actually know who you are internally, blah 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 blah. It makes you question, makes you have false senses of insecurity, all of that, all because of external limitations. What I need you to understand before I present the key that you need is, when you change your perspective, you also change your position in this world. Because when you change your perspective, you change your reality. And for you to have a different reality, you cannot have been in the same position as someone with a reality that is a lot different as well. When you change your perspective, you change your position, right? And when you change your perspective from something that did not serve you, from being someone who did not serve you, being too scared about people's opinions, being too scared about what people can say, being too scared about certain outcomes of following your truth and taking leaps of faith. When you take yourself and change your perspective to serve you a lot more, to help you be a lot more effective, to help you be more active, and help you pursue your life a lot more than you used to. When you serve yourself a lot more than you used to, you will realize that a lot of things will fade away, and a lot of things will change in your life. A lot of things will have to be restored. A lot of things will have to be refreshed, because you have just changed yourself. So with that being said, when you change your perspective and your position gets changed, you get repositioned. So then everything in your reality will start to treat you differently, or according to your current destination, your current position, because that's how it always is. No one's ever going to treat you based on your journey, because no one can see where your destiny is except for you. And no one's going to treat you with some sort of understanding. This world does not cater understanding on a platter, so they just cater accountability. So yeah, once you change your perspective and your position is changed, and you are repositioned into a reality that serves you, that means that you are no longer in a reality that was bad for you, and now you are in a reality of your dreams, let's say, a reality that you seek to be in. And the way you transition into this and the way you realize this is, the things that did not serve you will start to fall away. And I like to put it this way, I like to word it this way: when you transition into the realm of your dreams, you experience the symptoms of this transitioning through rude awakenings. So with that being said, the things that start to fall away, it might take a toll on your inner being, on your well-being, how you are feeling and all of that. And a lot of people get caught up in this process and turn their backs on what is meant for them and go back to what does not serve them, just because of the rude awakenings. And they don't realize that they are currently transitioning into the realm of their dreams. They cannot see better than what they are used to. They don't feel ready to experience greater than what they are used to. So what do? They go back and revert to what is familiar to them, not realizing that there is things beyond what is familiar to them, things beyond what they are used to on the other side waiting for them, the realm of their blessings, the realm of alignment. They don't realize it. A lot of people are caught in this study with the flies, where they are reverting back to what they are used to, but they aren't ready to experience more than that. They aren't ready to welcome in more life. So what do? They stay on autopilot and they revert back to what is familiar, and they just live in a cycle. They live in routine. They live with certainty. This is not living in a realm of faith. This is living without faith. Certainty kills faith, right? And what's the other word? Certainty is the killer of faith, and convenience is the killer of competence. We live in a world right now where this world is extremely convenient on every level. We are catered news, we are catered updates on other people's lives, and we are being compared to constantly, and we can tap into anything we want to tap into. Like, you have this power at your fingertips. Everything is so certain in this world right now, and just because of that, certainty kills faith, and convenience is the killer of competence. So not only is it harder for us to be faithful in this realm, things are so convenient that we wouldn't know what to do if things became inconvenient for us. So these inconvenient experiences are mistaken for wrong. It's mistaken for things that we should not go through. So then we want to revert to feeling more convenient experiences, not knowing that it is deceiving us this whole time, not knowing that it is blinding us from things that are better for us, things that's going to serve us even more. So with that being said, so these experiences of disassociation, departing, diverting, losing certain friends that weren't for you, friends that you have connected with that could have been good for you, but the reason you guys connected, the motive, the foundation behind it was to perhaps trauma bond or things like that. Like, I've offended a lot of people in my own individual process of going through this as well. So I'm not just talking from like some random study, I'm talking from experience as well. So with that being said, a lot of things that you thought was for you but wasn't for you are going to be exposed through these rude awakenings. And I do not want you to get discouraged. I do not want you to think that these inconveniences define who you are. You define who you are. The way you respond to these experiences defines who you are. But if you take these inconveniences and you make it a label as to who you are and your identity, you identify with all these bad things, you will not realize what is waiting for you on the other side. It's like an analogy of someone who has no clue of technology nowadays, and they take their first flight, right, and they think they are dying, they think something bad is happening to them, and they go from one setting that was troublesome for them to live in, right, and now they're going through this experience of flying for the first time, and they are losing their minds, they are shitting themselves and shit. And as soon as they are landed, they don't even realize what amazing blissful place they've landed in, because they are too scared and they are too caught up in what just happened, and they are so fearful, and they are still boiling up in fear and all those things, and they are still resisting, and they are still tense. What you need to do, as I said, embrace the experience, and then pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to the shifts. Pay attention to your present moment and be present, right? Now I'm getting closer and closer to the key of what you do when you go through this transition. Before I say it, I know this is the last time I'm going to say that. Before I say it, there's one more thing I want to say. You transition, as I said, into the realm of your dreams through rude awakenings. So with that being said, when you break through this illusion that you thought served you, your reality will become a delusional place in the transition, in the experience, and you will need to adjust and get used to what is actually for you. You will need to become familiar what is actually for you. And now the key, okay, to transcend this stagnance, to transcend this worry, to transcend this complacency and trying to make you revert back to what is familiar, because you can't really practice some sort of competence in this new realm, in this new area. The way to transcend you panicking because things aren't as familiar anymore and all those things, and you are in a new realm, a new chapter, a new setting, a new environment, it's one thing that will take you so far, and it is participative presence. Not worrying about who left, what has changed, all of that. Not worrying about the uncertainty of the outcomes, but being rooted in the present, and then being able to paint this world the color of your soul, and being able to bring your visions to light, and being able to be who you seek to be, and then be present enough to follow your gut, to follow your intuition, and to follow with a sense of creativity in this world, to walk this world with a sense of creativity in your lens, with a pip in your step that speaks of creativity, where you go and you do exactly what you want out of this world. You sculpt this world and embrace things. You make art out of every experience. You do things from a place of love in every experience. Forget what once was. Do not revert to what once was. Don't worry about what could be. Ground yourself and immerse yourself in the now, and do everything from a place of love. Make any form of art that you can out of every experience. Make everything a sense of a beautiful, blissful experience. Participative presence. Being rooted in the present moment so deeply to be able to participate and to be able to make things, make what you want out of all the things around you. That is going to help you so much. That is going to help you become competent and become aware of this new surroundings. It's going to help you find an understanding, find the way you want to approach this new setting, this new surrounding, and it's going to help you be at home in the realm of your dreams a lot faster. Participative presence, that is the key. Write it down everywhere and remind yourself every single day to find a level of participative presence, a level of flow state that you have not found before. Immerse yourself in the present and practice this. Train it like a muscle. Find participative presence where you can allow yourself to flow and create and to love and evolve as much as you can in the present moment, without worrying about what once was, without worrying about what could be. That is the key. Participative presence. And there's 2 more videos coming up soon. One video called True Self-Discovery and True Stability. That's the one video. And the other video is called The Art of Fame. This is both going to be linked to this video, right? It's going to be linked to the topic of this video, and it will make you expand your understanding, make you realize that there is more than what you know about this life. And thank you guys for watching this. I hope you guys tag along and watch the other videos, because I'm about to drop so much fucking gems on you guys. I hope you guys enjoy.